Welcome to my channel. I am G Joy. In today's video, we are going to be learning how to drape a special shirt sleeve. I've been having series on sleeves, so I've done the shirt basic bodies for a shirt sleeve, for an off shoulder, and also for a long sleeve. So today we are going to be having a special sleeve, and after this video, subsequent video, we tend to also learn some other sleeves. So if there's any sleeve that you want me to practicalize or to teach, you can leave it below on the comment section. So let's just get right into the video. So for these tutorials, we'll be using this for as our drafting paper. I'm using a marker, the scissors, the top. We'll be using this French curve and of course our ruler. So first of all, we'll just run through the measurements that we are working with. We are working with a bust of 24. The importance of the bust is that it helps us to get the armhole length. So the bust is 24. The armhole length is 6 inches. The cap height is 3 inches. If you don't know how to calculate armhole length and cap height, you can check my video on calculations and formulas. You see some calculations there. Then around the armhole is 9 inches. We'll be dividing that by 2, so we're working with 4.5. And the sleeve length you are working with is 5 inches. So to know how much to put on fold is around the around the armhole. Around the armhole, 4.5 inches, because around the armhole is 9. This is on fold, so 9 divided by 2 is, because we are folding the pattern into 2. Let me trim out the space to make it straight. Okay. This pattern is on fold, so that is why we are divided by 2. So 4.5. Then we are having extra 1 inch for allowance. So that is how to know how much to put on fold. Your around arm measurements. Around arm. This is your around arm. That is around here. You measure it. What you have divided by 2. Then you add 1 or 2 inches in allowance. That is how to know how much to put on fold. So the next thing we'll just mark. First of all, we're going to draft a basic body, a basic sleeve. Before we not do I will not show you the special sleeve. So we take our cap height. The cap height for this customer is 3 inches. 3 inches. Just use a straight ruler to connect that. Inches. So on this line we mark the 4.5 inches. Mark it. So this is the 4.5 inches. That is around the arm divided by 2. And then this is seam allowance. So after marking this 4.5, from this point to this corner, we just draw a straight line. Draw a straight line, and then you take the midpoint of that straight line. Just fold your tape into 2 layers, and then you fold the tape again, because we want to get half of that again. So we'll also use that for here. So we have shared this line into 4 equal parts. So this is the middle. Okay. So on this line, can mark, because it's small sleeve, you can use 3/4. but there are some that you use 1 inch. So it depends on what you have here, the space that you have. You just mark whatever it is there. You see, I cannot mark 1 inch here, so whatever you can mark on that space, just mark it. That is where the curve is going to pass, close to the edge. Okay, so you take your French curve from this begin from here. If your French curve can get from the beginning, fine, like this. If not, just do something like this first, and then from there use a curve to get it to this midpoint. Of course, you blend it out because you don't want any sharp edge. Blend it out. You can use your free hands to blend it out, and then use your French curve. We did it this way before. You now use the opposite direction to connect to this point. So depending on, you don't need to make it too deep. Okay, so from here you can mark ½ inch down as a guide, so that it's not too deep, and then you connect it to this place. So just place your French curve such that this line continues. If you do not have a French curve, after marking out the point on this upper side, you mark. If you are using 1 inch, on this side use ½ inch. If you are using 3/4, then this side you can use half. Then you can use your free hand like this, like this. You can use your free hand to just go. If you do not have a French curve, so the armhole length is 6. So let's see. Let's see, we have 6. So the length of the sleeve is 5 inches. Mark 5 inches. So this is the length of the sleeve. And of course you need folding allowance for your sleeve, so you can take 1 inch as a folding allowance. So let's just take here as our folding allowance. So before you mark the round sleeve, you also need the round sleeve measurement. Before you mark it, just fold this place, this down part, fold it. The round sleeve, sorry I did not mention that before. The round sleeve is 3 inches. And then you take 1 inch seam allowance, because there is 1 inch we can also take here. Here, 1 inch. So connect these lines. So this is our basic sleeve. You can now cut it out. When you want to cut here, follow this line. You just cup your hands. This is our basic sleeve. Then the reason why we left here out, so that by the time you fold it, when you are sewing. You fold it in. There will be no shortage here. So this is the basic sleeve. So after you have gotten this, the special sleeve we want to do is that we want to create holes here. Okay, so the number of holes you can create depends on you. It depends on how long your sleeve is. So you see that the length of this sleeve is 5. So you can decide for the style. You can decide to create 1 hole. You can decide to make it 2. You can decide to make it 3. So whichever one you want to do, it depends on you. So you can decide to create 2 holes. So if you want to create 2, of course you don't want to start from this edge. You want to start such that there will be space. So first of all, assuming you want to create 2 holes, you leave ½ inch on top, you leave ½ inch below. So in between, this one is in between, that is in between this and this. You divide it into 2. Divide it into 2. So 1 hole will be here, 1 hole will be here. So to create the hole, use your fresh curve. And the wideness of the hole also depends on you. So just use a fresh curve. So you create it such that there will be space in between the 2. Let's say something like this. Use your free hand. Okay. So for the sake of this tutorial, permits me, I will just share this into 2 so that I can show you the 1 hole and the 2 hole. So just assume that this is folded into 2. So you create the first one here, the second one here, okay, and then we cut it out. So welcome back. So for us to see the sleeve properly, I've replaced this with this. So it's the same measurements. You see that's the same measurement. The same measurement. So we'll do the 2 hole first. I said that you want to do the 2 hole. First of all, mark, you don't want it to get to the edge, so you mark ½ inch. Then you also mark ½ inch down. Now I said you determine the number of holes you want to have on your sleeve. Because it's a short sleeve, we cannot have more than 2 or 3. If you were to be a long sleeve, then you can have as much as 5 or 6 holes depending on the style that you want to create. So for this, we just want 2 holes for this first example. Then you take the midpoint. So we want the hole to be in between. The hole, 1 hole will be here, 1 hole will be here. So you can determine how much you want to, how wide the hole is going to be. You can decide to make it a ½ inch or 3/4, but you don't want it too much to get to the side. So I'm going to be using 3/4. So I'll just, okay, let me use half. I'll just mark half here like this. You also mark it here like this. So that is where the curve is going to pass through. So with your French curve, then on this midpoint, you leave at least, let's say, quarter on both sides, which will also make half. Quarter on both sides, so that there will be space in between the hole. Then you place your French curve, so that from here it will come here and it will end in this quarter, like this. So you can also use your freehand for that. Let me use freehand for this. You can use a freehand like this, like this. You see that freehand over there. So let's cut it out and see what it looks like. So when you are cutting, make sure you cut in a circular manner, in a curvy manner. If you want the two to be the same, you can actually cut the first one and place it on the second one to mark it, so that you ensure that you are having the same thing. Okay. Okay, so let's open it. Do you see the design? I'll put it on the mannequin for you to see what it looks like on the mannequin. So you see what I was saying? So if you want them to be equal, to be the same, when you cut out the first one, use it as a guide to cut the second one. You see that this one is bigger than one. It's also a style. So if you want to be the same, the one that you cut out here, place it here and use it to mark it, so that they will be the same. So you see that they are the same. So these are first. So let's try the one that is just one hole design. So leave half inch. Since this one is one hole, you can decide to leave 3/4, or you can decide to leave 1 inch if you want, depending on how wide, whatever you are going to take, whatever measurement you want to use, depend on how wide you want the hole to be. If you want it to be a small hole, then you can take as much as well, this is 5 inches long, so you can decide to make it 1.5. you mark 1.5 here, then you also mark 1.5 down, and then use here for the hole. Or you can decide to use 3/4. So depends on what you want. So I want to use 3/4. So this is how wide I want the hole to be. Then I'll locate the midpoint of both of them. And then I'll go in by 1 inch. So it depends on how you want to draw yours. So I want come like this. Remember that this is the one we are using, this one and this one. So you can use your French curve to create a circle. This is our stylish sleeve, and then you cut. So this one is another. So you see how the sleeve will be like a love shape. So that means when you make your sleeve, there will be a hole like this. So let's put it on the mannequin and see what it looks like. So this is the one that has, you have to be tuned for you to see. So you see how it will look like on the sleeve. Can you see that? And then the second one, this is how it will look like. So you can create a unique sleeve for your outfit. So we have come to the end of this video. I hope you find this video helpful. I'll see you again in another class. Bye for now.